Welcome to Izziwizzi Kids Play TV episode number 30, where you may otherwise know us as the interactive internet TV show where we are changing the world of toys and play together. I am your host today, Al Boxall Gordon, and yay! Spring is here at last. And this week our topic is what to do with your kids now that spring is here. Now, it's been spectacular fun in the Izziwizzi Kids Play Fest this week over on Twitter and on Facebook. If you haven't been, then join the fun between 8:30 and 9:30 on a Tuesday, and then over on Facebook at the same time every Thursday. Further details are available at izziwizzikids.co.uk and at the end of this video. And the message is, it's so much fun, don't miss it. Now, with spring being on the horizon was the topic of conversation over on the Playfest a couple of weeks ago, and today we'll be looking at what you came up with. We're also going to be looking at reviewing this Wigo pod, a very futuristic looking thing that is, and we'll also be talking about some other products that were reviewed during the spring theme Playfest. But before we move on to our spring theme, I'd just like to thank Marbell Toys, Hexbug, Fun to See, Babu Purr, Jolly Bath, Smithies, and not forgetting all you lovely people at Playfest and family and friends for supporting Izziwizzi Kids fundraising for comic relief. And in case you missed it, this 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, jump! Plus, our online auction raised over £450 for comic relief. So that's great, well done. Now, with spring being on the horizon then, well, in Playfest you talked about learning new skills that would be great for the summer, such as riding bikes, perhaps skating or swimming, and you also mentioned lots and lots about gardening and planting seeds, and we've got some product reviews this week that are ideal for this activity. Now, we also have some lovely people who put themselves forward to product test the Gold Toys weather kit and some NYBY gardening tools. Thumbs up for these products. It seems that the Gold Toys weather kit is really educational. It takes a bit to get your head around putting it all together, but a great activity for kids, and it's a great time of year to observe the weather as it changes so quickly from one day to the next. So great little idea for spring there. And the NYBY gardening tools, well, we've been looking at those and they look like they are great little gardening tools, pretty much what we use, but in miniature, so really good quality tools. So if you'd like to watch the video reviews of these products, and we've posted links to the reviews at Izziwizzi Kids Play TV episode number 30 post on izziwizzikids.co.uk. So then, the big theme at Playfest was planting seeds. So this week I thought I'd introduce you to the Wigo pod. Now, this is your very own home eco composting system. The Wigo pod is a brand new prize-winning educational toy, so it teaches children the recycling food waste and the composting system. Children can learn about how food breaks up to create the compost and then plant seeds in the compost they create. So what's good about the Wigo pod then? Well, it's educational and it teaches children about the environment, and it provides a great little miniature gardening environment if you don't have a garden, and it provides a great little place to plant seeds and grow your own compost if you do have a garden.
Yeah, so we put them in there, then turn all that off, don't we?
Yeah, do you want to do it?
Can I try?
Go on then.
Oh no.
It's lucky, it's just a back, isn't it? And then the next job is
Hold on.
the Wigo
It's a
worms.
bit
That's okay. Right, do you want to tip the worms into there then?
tip it in,
Yeah.
upside down.
I guess so. Gently, gently, poor worms. Go on then, do it gently, just tap it.
Yeah.
Look at them. Look at the worms.
To make it dark.
Maybe so.
newspapers. Do they eat that?
I think they do. I'm guessing they do. Don't go over the limit line, so I think that's don't go over that white bit. So it's
I'm scared of the worms.
that. Don't be scared of the worms. Worms aren't scary, are they?
Oh.
Ah.
Really? But it's going to wobble around.
Well, it wobbles, but it's good in the way it wobbles. It won't fall down. I think it's just place the Wigo pod in a cool, dry place, so next to your bed.
Oh, scary.
Away from direct sunlight, worms like the dark. So that was making the compost with the Wigo pod. Now these worms really are speedy little creatures. And I think we put too much food in the Wigo pod because it took about 4 or 5 weeks to break this lot down. But the worms were definitely happy, they were definitely feisty, and the worms definitely had a good feast in there. So the next stage is planting the seeds. Now I've been reliably informed that courgettes, sweet corn, cucumber and sunflowers are great seeds to plant in pots with kids at this time of year to get the seeds to germinate. Or if you are fortunate enough to have more ground to play with, then you can have a go at planting seeds such as carrots, spinach, salad onions and lettuce straight into the ground. Now if you know lots about gardening with kids, why not post your ideas in the comments below this video. If you're watching on izziwizzikids.co.uk, you can even upload your own activity videos in the comments. So let's plant some courgette seeds in our Wigo pod. The next stage of this Wigo pod then is to pick the worms out of the Wigo pod. Ugh. That was a bit quick. They're a bit quick. They definitely aren't happy about being in the sunlight. Right, let's see if we can get them out with chopsticks. Here goes. This is easier said than done. One. There we go. Two. Put them in this back in the garden. I think worms have evolved to become really, really clever. Here we go. There's another worm. I never realised I was jumpy about worms, but these are quick little fellas. And all the soil biscuits come with the Wigo pod pack. And then you have to give it a good mix. And this is where all the other worms pop their heads out and say hello. And then you put the Wigo pod back together, so the tray sits on the water, on top of the water. So while the seeds are germinating, you turn the dome to the closed position, and this will trap moisture and carbon dioxide in the pod, which will encourage germination. And once germination occurs, you can turn the dome to the open position to provide oxygen for the growing plants. Very clever. And then you can use the tray to stand the Wigo pod on. You are buying live worms to go into your composting system. Now these are sent in the post to you and survive the journey very well, but it's a good idea to be aware of this so that you can take care of your worms and expect them and know how to care for them. So if you are squeamish about worms, this might not be right for you. Now it took 2 weeks and maybe even longer for the food to turn into compost, so it's not an overnight thing. Now, This will help kids to develop their patience, and they can watch with interest as the Wigopod environment changes. And you'll need to keep the Wigopod somewhere dark where you won't forget about it. I think the secret to the Wigopod is to keep reminding yourself to have a look at it. Have a regular time slot every week. The worms sit quietly in the bowl. They are not attention-seeking folk, and it's easy to forget to look at the process of what's happening. Now, you can buy the Wigopod at bcycle.co.uk, and I also found it on notonthehighstreet.com, and it retails at about $14.99. Now, that's our spring theme for this week. Have a fun week, and I look forward to seeing you again next week for another exciting episode of Izziwizzi Kids Play TV. I am Al Boxall-Gordon, and together we are changing the world of toys and play.
Izziwizzi Kids, hooray!